Good morning, everyone. With 16 to go, I'll hit a century. I'm 84, standing before you as a contented man, satisfied man, humble man, and an absolutely happy man. My life started in a small village in Kerala, a Hindu Orthodox family, and I spent my early years in a small village. The family was good, but at the same time, they followed very orthodox systems, and social discrimination were at its peak. Not knowing all this, I had strange experiences. In the meantime, I have read the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi, My Experiments with Truth, and this book really gave me a lot of inspiration. I learned about the values of life, the need for courage of conviction, the courage of action, self-reliance, discipline, time management, and a variety of other good qualities through this simple book. I invited a friend of mine after I completed the 10th standard to my place for a cup of tea, not knowing what it will bring forth. My friend was not allowed inside the house because he belonged to a lower caste. Both my friend and I were humiliated like anything by the elders. I could not sleep properly that night. I bolted away from my home at the age of 14 into an insecure world. Within 2 days, I could manage to reach the capital city of Kerala, Trivandrum, did a lot of roaming, and finally found a family who could support me with fees for the college and also food and stay. I did not accept this as a free gift. I did all works for them to see that they are compensated properly. After completing the 12th, the question came, what next? I set out for Chennai, the old Madras, thinking that I will be able to secure a good job. After spending a few days, I found nothing came my way. Friends, Mumbai was the next answer, and I boarded a train and came to the other platform. The other platform gave me a temporary home for the next few days. I sat on the platform, roaming around, not knowing what to do. And I still remember in the dead of night, an old leprosy patient, a beggar himself, gave me a hot cup of tea to ward off the cold. I still remember that very, very important segment of my life. Within a few days, I could find again a Samaritan who helped me through my stay and little food. And within a few days, I could secure a job in the railways as an accounts assistant. There were examinations, departmental examinations, which I passed one after the other, leading to the highest officer's positions. But promotions further depended on seniority, and therefore I was not prepared to wait. Higher ambition was always in my mind. And therefore I studied for graduation, postgraduation MA, law, postgraduate diploma in business management, advertising and public relations, advanced journalism and newspaper management, and ultimately a doctorate. All these while managing the country. I married in the meantime and I had a small son by name Giri. My wife's name was Shama. And then life was different. With limited income, we could manage all these things. And then I moved on to a leading advertising agency where I could meet a large number of stalwarts in writing, marketing, advertising, public relations, creative activities, everything. My vision broadened. I also grew up in the profession and then ultimately landed in a very important agency in Delhi. Friends, there also I grew up very well, and at that time I met a divine person who explained to me the life story of Sri Raghavendra Swami, who is a very great saint of India. I got a lot of dose from him. And then after that I had a copy of Autobiography of a Yogi by Swami Yogananda Paramahamsa. These two books gave me a complete change in my perception. I thought I had everything in my life in Delhi. I had a comfortable state, comfortable everything, a 5-star life. The temporal things were always on the high, but at the same time, I became dissatisfied with my life because these things cannot give me ultimate satisfaction. I and my wife discussed about these points several times, and ultimately we opted for simplifying our lives and devoting our lives for social causes. We discarded all these things. With the permission of my immediate family, I resigned all my positions in the commercial field while I was occupying a very high position in life, but then came onto the streets again. I asked many people, what shall I do? And they told me, you take up leprosy work, because leprosy patients were undergoing the maximum problems in life, indignities in life. So therefore, I did not know much about leprosy. I learned about it, the medical, social, other aspects of this from very, very eminent people. And then I started writing in newspapers because most of the reporters, most of the editors in India were known to me because I was in the advertising agency. They obliged me by publishing all these stories properly. And then a lot of recognition came in the process. Some people from Germany, the leading lights in social field, both Germany and Switzerland came and offered me a big job, which I did not accept. Ultimately, I took up an honorary PR job from them so that I could go to Germany and Switzerland and learn what is happening there in the social field. It helped me tremendously. It was at that time I got an invitation from the government of India to join Dr. Swaminathan's commission on health and leprosy. Friends, I accepted it because it was a very good chance to know something about leprosy and health. I worked closely with Dr. Swaminathan. I had several meetings with the Prime Minister, Madam Indira Gandhi. It was a great opportunity for me. My immediate assignment was provide a practical, sensible formula, recommendation for communication management in controlling leprosy and ultimately removing leprosy from the Indian soil. This was a highly complex job, as you know. To deal with about 800 million people at that time, with different religions, with different thoughts, several disparities in life, to formulate a policy, a communication policy to contain and to change the mindset of people was a very complex task. However, I worked overnight. Because of God's benevolence, I would say, I could complete the task and then presented it to the commission, where Mrs. Gandhi was also present, and by and large the whole thing was accepted, and then it was put into action in 1982. I must tell you at this point of time that India had 40 lakhs of leprosy patients in the base year 1982, and leprosy was there in India for the last 5,000 years. And then this program was put into action, and then work started. Government of India was the program manager, the state government, the municipalities, and a number of NGOs participated in this. It was at that time I started Indian Leprosy Foundation to help the process, and eminent people were drafted into this as trustees in my foundation. They helped. They were very, very eminent people, cardiologists, very eminent leprologists, very eminent dermatologists, very eminent social workers, all came together. Ultimately, we worked together, and by 2005, that means within just 23 years, with the application of a good scientific policy, which could not be done over 5,000 years, could be managed, and then 40 lakhs of patient load came down to less than a lakh. And India declared glorifying point for me, because I worked for a cause. I helped the cause. I was throughout with the entire group, and I could see the results coming in, and it was a very, very happy event. But in the meantime, because of my social work, I could also see eminent personalities like, for example, Mother Teresa a few times. I was invited by the Holy Father, Pope John Paul, and I spent in Vatican 10 days. I gave 2 lectures at the Vatican. I met a number of leading lights, not only in India, but the whole world. And I could also see Mr. J.R.K. for example. I worked with Dr. M. S. Swaminathan, the father of Green Revolution, for full 3 years. I got several ideas from him. I could also see many eminent people in the process. The latest was last month. I could see Dr. Mr. Narayanamurthy, and presented him with a special award. My friends, by telling all these things, I wanted to tell you the courage of conviction is very, very important. After having reached 2005, we diversified, because there was very less leprosy work, diversified into a new organization called Indian Development Foundation. In this foundation, the focus is healthcare, residual leprosy, TB, blindness, and other related areas. Then, of course, education for the poor children. We must remember, we have something like 8 to 9 million children in this country who have never gone to a school. It is something very, very sad that these children do not have a facility to learn things. We have established 71 gurukuls in India, 71 gurukuls across the whole of India, providing free education to a large number of people. With our networking facilities and with the help of other people, we are providing free meals to something like 30,000 people every day. These are great achievements, I would say. The story is not over. We have a large number of ambassadors in this country, social ambassadors, who carry out, who network with the organization. We have a small ambassador by name Sahil. He is only 7 years old. He is an excellent speaker. He can move millions by his speech. Like this, we have several animated people who can change the face of India. Friends, living for selfish purpose has its limitations. The moment you start thinking about larger number of people, our own people, then the entire thing goes away. Generals have mentioned about working for the country, security and all that. Similarly, working for a social cause, trying to improve the lot of people by way of either healthcare or otherwise education and things like this, we will be able to secure a better civil society in future. A better civil society is an absolute must for India, and for that purpose, you and I must come together. We must forget our differences. We must work together and produce a good society in the near future. Unless we have this society, democratic principles cannot be worked out properly, and then we won't be able to set up good government, responsible government, and accountable government. It is not somebody's job, it is our job. We must go beyond the academics, beyond the textbooks. We must do this because textbooks and academics can give you a limited vision of life. We must go beyond this, and then many things can be done. At the same time, there is also intellectual arrogance in this country. We must remain humble. Humility is the greatest factor in social work. Friends, if with humility you can manage wonderful things, you can come down to people, discuss with them, understand their problems, and then quite a lot can be done. I have visited thousands and thousands of villages in this country. I must tell you there are 628,000 villages having no facilities in this country. We need to improve all these things. And this is possible only by collective action. You and I must come together. We must work together for a collective action. And this is possible only by social education and social upliftment. In my life, I have been able to achieve certain things and also deliver to the country. I have been able to be a part of the social system to deliver something to the nation only because I sustain the courage of action, the courage of belief, and also humility at every angle. Friends, we have a lot more to do, I know very well life has its limitations. I am 84, and this is not a permanent figure at all. I have, over a period of time, selected wonderful people, wonderful human beings, and then there are three important youngsters. One is our CEO, Dr. Narayan Iyer, he is there in the crowd. Dr. Franklin, who is the manager for entire South India, he is also in the crowd. Mr. Cecil Joseph, he is another ambassador. He is doing excellent work in the field of leprosy. And to this we can add a large number of Samaritans, a huge number of volunteers doing this work. I must also tell you, we have involved, our teams visit something like 20,000 schools in the country every year. We address millions of students. Our teams address millions of students. And the leprosy work was not done only by medical people or sociologists. This is a wrong reading. The entire student community have been able to manage education, social education for themselves, for their parents, for their grandparents, and for the society at large. They have also contributed very well. And I salute the school teams of India for managing such a beautiful transformation by wiping out leprosy from the face of India. Friends, a lot more can be done. A lot more can be done. The students in various universities, schools and colleges must come forward. Devote a little time as social ambassadors of this country. We have a stake. Our country must grow. And for this purpose, we should all come together. Today is the day of networking. Various facilities are available. If we come together, we can certainly bring out a wonderful life. And through this, we can sublimate our own life and also bring edification and goodness in life. The time is running out. I do not want to take a second more than what is allotted to me. My friends, my plea therefore is to come forward, conscientize your own systems and your friends and relatives into what is possible in improving this country to a better nation. This is possible. This is certainly possible. A good civil society is our answer, and that is possible only if you and I act together in unison. And it is possible with your goodness, with humility, with cooperation, with wonderful togetherness. We will be able to do it. Time is out. Thank you.